Oh, hello. Guessing you run like a museum here?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
I'd like to buy a ticket. Is this the Ludwig Museum?
Ist das die Ludwig Museum?
Ja, ja. Ludwig der Zweite von Bayern.
Okay. I'd like to buy a ticket, please.
Ich hätte gern eine Eintrittskarte fürs Museum.
Ja, 8 Mark für eine Ganztagskarte.
Sure. I mean, you got cash. Great. Hopefully this ticket lasts the whole day.
Danke.
Bitte.
Man, this lady is not maybe the most hospitable front desk, like concierge slash greeter. All right, so we can learn a little bit about. Okay. Oh, this is from the year prior to the letter from Ludwig to Elizabeth. You can have no idea, dear cousin, how happy you made me. The hours recently passed with you in the railway carriage I consider among the happiest in life. Never will their memory fade. You gave me permission to visit you at Ilsch. Ilsch. Let's go with that. If the time comes for this ardent hope to be fulfilled, I shall be of all men upon earth the most blessed. The feelings of the sincere love and reverence and faithful attachment to you which I cherished in my heart even as a boy makes me imagine heaven upon earth and will be extinguished by death alone. I beg you with all my heart to forgive the contents of this letter, but I could not help myself. All right, what do we got here? Are they all just the bottom parts? Yeah, I think it's just like the transcription. Elizabeth frequently gave Ludwig advice on royal conduct, hoping to protect him from unfavorable public opinion. So this is 1865, gotcha. My dearest Eagle, you have not written me in a few months. I've missed you. I often try to imagine what you were doing. I hear tales that you have been on retreat and have not been seen in Munich for some time. I suspect that it is this new friend you wrote of as mysterious. This is the Louis, right? This new friend you wrote of so mysteriously that takes you away from home. I hope you are enjoying yourself, my beloved, but I beg you to caution. The people need to see you at the throne. I also hesitate to suggest that what your officials do in your absence may not always be in your best interest. You have always been a true king, but you must let the people see you to ensure. Wouldn't that be ensure with an e? They don't forget that, Elizabeth, or Dove. Ludwig's friends were concerned for his mental state long before his arrest. So 1878, almost a decade after the last one. My beloved Eagle, in your last letter you spoke so movingly of your torment that I was moved to tears. What is this torment? Why won't you confess to me what is truly troubling you? You must know that I would never despise you, no matter how horrible you believe your sins to be. Please do not write such barbs to my heart by even suggesting such things. If you do not wish to confess to me, at least tell me how I can aid you. I am always your true one, your Dove. In this letter, dated November 1886, Elizabeth of Austria thanks Bishop Frank for his assistance in helping her fulfill Ludwig's last wishes. She writes that she knows it was an unusual request, but she believes Ludwig had reasons of his own for wishing it to be done. She hopes that his spirit finds peace at last. No further reference to this letter has ever been found. One can only speculate what the last wishes of a cornered and embattled Ludwig might have been. That is very curious. Okay, so these are obviously photos. I'm assuming Ludwig, Elizabeth. Okay. All right, let's head over there. One of Ludwig's few close friends was Empress Elizabeth of Austria. She was a distant cousin of the boy prince, and he saw her often growing up. Graceful and beautiful, Elizabeth seemed to represent the feminine ideal to the younger Ludwig. Their friendship continued after her marriage, mainly by correspondence. She remained a source of stability for Ludwig throughout his life. In keeping with Ludwig's love of romance and drama, he called her the Dove, and he, to her, was the Eagle. All right, what about over here? All right. June 7th, 1886, a group of men arrive in Neuschwanstein. Let's go with that. Neuschwanstein Castle, demanding to take the king in custody. With them is Dr. Guden, the doctor who had been in charge of Otto, the king's mentally ill brother. The men have an order for the king's arrest on the grounds of insanity. They are refused admittance by a brave group of farmers and local soldiers who have come to Ludwig's aid. They are forced to retreat to nearby Hohenschwangau. Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that interpretation. This is the first Ludwig hears of the conspiracy. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with the people for aid. The pamphlet is smuggled out to Neuschwanstein and printed, but the pamphlets are seized before they can be distributed. Oh. This is what they were talking about, how he believes that they basically murdered him. It was no accident, and he was a fine king, but it seems like he's also very troubled. Curious. June 12, 1886, Ludwig knows the conspirators will return. He despairs. He asks his servant for the keys to the tower. The servant, fearing the king intends suicide, says the key is lost. Unbeknownst to Ludwig, the conspirators arrive at the castle. This time, there is no one to stop them. Ludwig is lured from his bedroom to the entry hall of Neuschwanstein on pretense. There, he is taken into custody. Ludwig is taken by carriage from Neuschwanstein to Berg, where his brother Otto has long been imprisoned. This is a great blow to the king's state of mind. While on the way, the group stops at Skihaupt to change horses. Ludwig asks to see the postmistress, Frau Vogel. She brings him a glass of water, and he says something to her. She never reveals these last words to anyone. June 13th, 1886. At Berg, Ludwig seems cooperative and coherent. Dr. Guden writes to the government that he has Ludwig well under control. The two men go out for a walk, and Dr. Guden is so confident he dismisses the guards. When Ludwig and the doctor do not return after several hours, a search is undertaken. The bodies of the two men are found in the lake, drowned. Circumstances unknown. That is very strange. June 18th of 1886, Ludwig's funeral procession marches through the streets of Munich, followed by enormous crowds of mourners. The service is held at a packed St. Michael's Church. Lightning strikes. That's not light. That's like lightning, as if you're bringing up a color, right? That's definitely I think that's a typo. Like not lightning, it's lightening. Strikes the church during the service, but no one is harmed. Ludwig's body is entombed in the Wittelsbach crypt at St. Michael's. His heart is placed in an urn in the pilgrimage chapel at Altötting in the Wittelsbach tradition. The urn is shown to the right. Oh, I wonder if we're going to have to find the urn with his heart. I wonder if that's like key to the story. Because if we remember from the book, the only way to kill a werewolf is by destroying the heart and or brain. What do we have here? Ooh.
Oh my god. That's the slave from my dream.
Yeah, that's definitely the slave from the dream.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone. This thing is getting too weird.
Very strange indeed.
Ludwig embarking on his sleigh.
What does this say? The midnight sleigh rides. Ludwig went on long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the rides soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune. Oh.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my
Very
dream
odd.
meant.
Okay. What about over here?
Ludwig's death mask.
Oh.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay. Anything else over here? Okay, another portrait of Ludwig.
Is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Can we go over this way? Okay. So maybe that's just background information for us. Maybe we just had to learn more about Ludwig. All right, so this is the castle that's mentioned in the documents there. Ooh, very pretty.
Our tour begins in the entry hall.
Oh, that's cool.
Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886.
Okay.
He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died.
Oh, that's a
Ludwig's
very young
passion was
time.
building castles.
Hmm.
He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein.
Sure.
Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology. A
Interesting.
taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
Huh, okay. Interesting. Okay, is this guy gonna go from room to room with us now? He just walked off. Okay. Can we go in
I
here?
wonder where that door leads.
I mean, he's
I
not
wonder
here.
where that door leads.
Okay.
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. Forging
These
of some
scenes
weapon.
seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story.
Okay. I wonder if we'll get that information. All right, let's go to the next room.
Did they have running water in 1886?
That is
Did
a
they have
big
running water
stein.
in 1886?
All right, let's play the next tape.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building and its turrets. The bed's
Okay.
draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
I mean, it's very beautiful.
You are now standing
Okay.
in the king's
It's a separate
bedroom.
tape.
The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, the tragic love
Man,
story
it is an opulent
retold in
bedroom.
Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865,
Okay.
and 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 wood carvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king.
Yeah. Surprise,
In the years
surprise.
before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
Weird. I don't know. Maybe don't have ornate carvings in all your bedrooms. Okay, so this guy now walks back after that tape. I wonder if that's important. Okay, and now she comes into this room. So are they like on like a patrol route? Like if I listen to a tape, it changes time?
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
Okay, so we can find out what the scenes are.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to that other room real quick. So I'm assuming this is
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
okay. Not particularly
The
informative.
paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
I wonder if will there be like a hint in one of these that we have to know. Okay, nothing else here. Or was there? What about this? Nope, nope, there is not. Okay, next room. 2 rooms here. I guess let's go to the right. Oh, okay.
This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a
Damn.
devout Catholic, as were all of the Wittelsbacher rulers. They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism.
Okay. Huh.
It's a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold.
Damn. Ludwig did not live a impoverished life.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about.
I wonder if that'll be
The
important.
Black Madonna.
Oh, okay. Keep that in mind.
The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
Anything else? No, okay. There we go.
The paintings above the altar depict St. Louis surrounded by the seraphim. An interesting side note. For a
Yeah.
period of about a year, the Louis images in all 3 castles were ordered to be covered up with black cloth on the
Oh,
unfathomable whim of the king.
interesting. He felt like he had done something terrible. Wonder if he was changed. He felt cursed, maybe. All right, let's take a little listen
This
in
is the
here.
king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga.
Jeez.
The king first saw
Look at
Wagner's
this
opera
place.
Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This, too, was Ludwig's own fate.
Yeah.
Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life.
He was basically, trying to live out a
He wanted
fantasy.
to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
Yeah. I wonder. Maybe he did suffer a transformation. And that he felt, I guess, cursed or unable to repent for maybe a sin or two that he committed in this transformation. All
The
right.
miracle of the Grail.
Okay, nothing more to that.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Interesting. Okay, so they're guards. So she specifically mentions that.
These linens look seriously expensive.
Yeah. Oh,
These linens look seriously
What do you have to say?
expensive and seriously old.
oh.
I'm surprised people don't sit in these chairs when the guard's not looking.
Huh. Why do we want this shot? I wonder if there's
I'm
something we
surprised
can do
people
with
don't
this. Okay. I guess we can go over this way. Interesting. So the guards definitely seem like they're on patrol of some kind. Oh, what do we have here?
Four swans.
Yeah, there was the swan in the dream, too.
The swan motif is featured throughout the
Yes.
castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They
Symbols of
represented
purity.
his ideals of majesty and purity.
Yes.
The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
Okay. Anything over to the right? I guess there's another room over here, right? Oh, geez. What is this?
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga.
Oh.
In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As
Interesting.
the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone.
Wow.
He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig
Apparently
had
no
a
one was
standing
good enough
order
for
that
him.
Upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed.
Oh.
Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death.
Okay.
They haven't closed since.
Wow.
It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
Huh. Oh, okay. So now we have another guard in here, too. I wonder if there's at some point we have to time it where the guards
I
are
can
looking at
almost
one thing.
picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
That's a very good question, Grace. Very good question. Okay, so there's another area back here, it looks like.
I can almost pick.
Okay. What do we have here?
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors.
Huh.
He loved poetry, history, and the classics.
Yeah, he seems like a very
In later
cultured
years,
person,
He also studied the occult.
if not a little elitist.
What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him.
Yeah,
in
Elizabeth warned him.
1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy.
I
And
think
the
you mean
small powers
dictatorship.
left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
Oh, woe is you, Ludwig. You only get to be, the figurative head of state.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
Probably. It's really cool, though. Hmm. What do we got here?
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle.
Okay.
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle.
Okay. What about over here?
The study paintings depict
I'm just wondering
scenes
if there's
from
going to
the
be anything
Tannhäuser
that
Saga
Grace
and the
notices on
Wartburg
these.
Castle.
Okay, well, I'd rather look at everything than forget something along our way. So we come in through the bottom? Where did we come into here? Okay, so I guess we came, and I just want to get my orientation. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's go through here.
This is the final room of our tour.
Damn.
The Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the
Opulence.
Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was
Look at
built
this
for
place.
small private concerts.
Oh,
but
small,
Ludwig
intimate,
himself
private.
never gave one here.
Huh.
It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings.
Wait, wolf
the original
paintings?
were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882,
Huh.
Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new
Wow.
paintings himself.
That's curious. Okay, we need to
While
investigate
all the other
that.
rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera.
Okay,
anyone
that's
more than
curious.
It is yet another of the many mysteries associated
This
with the
further
life
lends evidence
fairy
to,
tale king.
maybe Ludwig got a little lupine in him.
The hunters tracked down Engelhard and Hildegunde.
Oh, yeah, there's the wolf.
Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Huh.
The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron.
Okay. Oh.
The death of Engelhard.
Huh. Okay, what do we got here?
Engelhard courts Hildegunde.
Huh.
Engelhard and the blacksmith.
Very interesting.
The hunters tracked down Engelhard and Hildegunde. Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Yeah, very, very strange. It sounds like, you know, he had a story in mind.
Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the
I'm gonna
lookout
guess
in the
it's either
Singers'
this
Hall.
or this. I'm gonna guess this. This looks more castle-y.
Nice view of the Alps.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Nice view of the Alps.
Ludwig's childhood castle.
Okay, nothing new. Anything from this
This
angle?
is the final room of our
Nope,
tour.
no, we already
The
got
hall
that.
The hall is probably best known.
Okay, that's the way we came. What is this over here? Ooh,
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings.
there has to be,
What
right?
story?
Is there anything in
There
this? Very strange. Yeah, there's definitely like a story that he's constructed here. It's very clear, you know. But it leads the hint that maybe it does involve a man being turned to wolf. You know, being captured, murdered, losing the love of his life, and that person marrying someone else. Oh, so that's okay. So that's our exit. Aha.
I wonder where that door leads.
Okay. So we can come back here, I guess. I'm trying to think, like, what could we possibly get from this? Maybe we can talk to the woman at the museum now? Now that we've, like, looked at both of these things, maybe she has answers, but I guess they'd be kind of limited. Or at least, maybe she wouldn't know too much
I don't
about
have
it.
anything to say to her at the
Huh.
moment.
Nothing.
They certainly make an incredible looking couple.
No, nothing here. We already looked at all that. Oh, we missed this corner. Okay, well, what's going on here?
Ludwig and Wagner, Ludwig
Right.
loved the opera of his contemporary
Yeah, he loved
Richard
Wagner.
He helped support Wagner's music through much of his life. Ludwig considered Wagner a close friend, often calling him the great friend. Wagner encouraged this infatuation, some believe, for personal gain. Typical artist.
Damn. Grace with the cutting commentary. All right, what do we have here? Ludwig as Grand Master of the Knights of St. George. The Knights of St. George was an aristocratic society dedicated to acts of chivalry. Ludwig loved the medieval pageantry of the order in his early years before his increasing reclusiveness drove him to abandon public appearances.
Ludwig is Grand Master of the
Yeah.
He looks so regal. Why would he give up all of this pageantry and become a recluse?
Again, unless something changed about him. Okay. Ooh. Signets and sash pins from the Order of the Knights of St. George. These were worn in Ludwig's uniform as befitted his rank as Grand Master. They are now the property of the Bavarian Crown Treasury.
signets and sash.
Okay.
I wonder if these pins have any symbolic meaning.
Oh.
I wonder if these pins
Yeah.
have any...
Interesting. Okay, well, what do we have here? Oh, geez, now that's quite a robe. Ludwig's Grand Master wardrobe from the Knights of St.
Ludwig's
George.
Grand Master wardrobe from the Knights of St. George.
Interesting.
Looks like it weighs a ton.
Yeah. Dragging that thing around mustn't have been easy.
Richard Wagner.
Okay, what do we have here? Anything useful? It's a plaque.
Ludwig's diary. Ludwig kept a
Oh.
diary from 1869
Now that would be
until he was
nice.
24 years
How do we get a
old
hold of that
until his
thing?
death. The diary provides a fascinating look into the mind of this tormented man.
The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite
Okay,
wall.
how do we get a hold of that?
Gotta see that diary.
Now that is a lead. Okay. So nothing here. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is part of the diary. Okay. Even after Wagner's death, Ludwig still showed signs of obsession with the composer. This letter, written in 1882 by Ludwig to the conductor of the Munich Opera, instructs the conductor to make preparations for a new Wagner opera. The conductor went to see the king as instructed. When he arrived, Ludwig was ill and refused to see him. Nothing further was ever heard of this mysterious new Wagner opera. Was it a figment of an ill man's desperate wishes?
Even after Wagner...
Very curious. What do we have here? Ludwig is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal
Ludwig
fame.
is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal fame.
Interesting.
26 July 1874.
Okay.
By the power of the lily, we shall have the strength to resist all temptations throughout the whole year.
Very curious. Again, he talks a lot about temptation. I wonder if that is of a more carnal, consumptive nature.
26 July 1875. Solemn oath before the picture of the great king. Refrain for 3 months from all excitement. This oath has its binding power, as well as its potency, by de par le Roy, LNR, DPLR.
What
Very
excitement.
curious.
I need to see
Yeah.
more of that diary.
Yeah, we need to get our hands on this diary. This is not enough information. Oh, okay, we can talk to her. How's it going? Oh my god. I feel like you need to get a more welcoming person to maybe run your, main, I guess, like, information desk. All right. How do we get this diary?
Ludwig's Tagebuch im Museum?
Ja,
Oh.
Wo
So the
kann
diary
ich
must be here.
Ludwigs Tagebuch hier anschauen?
die Tagebücher sind ganz persönlich.
I'll get anything
Die
from that.
sind in den königlichen Archiven. Niemand darf die lesen. Aber nein, niemand
damn.
darf die lesen.
Okay, so I'm guessing she's saying that no one can see the diary, lock and key and all that. We can ask. I think the other option was about the Wagner opera.
Guten Tag.
Okay. Yes.
Im Museum ist einen Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Aha, aha.
Ja, ja. Ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich mehr von dieser Wagner-Oper sehen?
Ja, ich weiß nichts über Wagner.
Getting a lot from this,
Das
but
hier ist kein Wagner-Museum.
Ja, ich weiß.
In Bayreuth befindet sich ein Wagner-Museum. Versuchen Sie es halt mal, ne?
Bayreuth. Danke.
oh, was that a hint? Huh. So we got something from that. Now we got the museum ticket still. That's odd. By right. Oh, that must I would have said Beirut. By right. Must be, yes, where they keep the diary. Right. Okay, well, let's go find out what's going on there. Interesting. Grace's side of the story is really interesting because it is like really good, like investigatory detective.
Guten Tag. Ist das die Wagner Museum?
Yeah, you're an American, aren't you?
Oh, finally some English.
I'm afraid the house is closed this time of year. It will be open next month.
Oh no. Ah, crap.
You are interested in Wagner?
Very interested. Very recently very interested.
Okay.
Sure. Most of the house is closed for
All right,
closing.
see you later, Cold Zero. Thanks for stopping by.
A few rooms are open. I shouldn't let you probably, but
Good luck with your home brewing.
you are alone, aren't you?
Endlessly.
Come in and look over.
That's very generous. What do I owe you?
Oh,
Georg Immerding. It's only a few displays. Besides, I wouldn't be much of a
okay. We're gonna get like a
shining
little
knight
mini
if I
tour.
told you.
Thanks, Georg. My name is Grace.
Hello.
Have a great day or night wherever you are. Okay, so we can do a little bit of a self-guided tour here. All right, so we got a piano here. What's the plaque say?
Wagner's piano. On this piano, the maestro composed his later operas, including The Ring.
Okay. Is there anything to investigate with this? No, just a really nice piano.
Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father.
Okay.
Richard Wagner.
The man himself. God, that's some bad facial hair. That is some cursed facial hair. Okay.
An old sofa.
Yeah, a settee.
Wagner's death mask.
Oh, that is really bad facial hair. Okay. Anything over here? Ah.
It's a letter from a Monsieur Beaujolais, dated September 1881.
Interesting. Looks like a theater.
Looks like he's discussing acoustics and sound waves.
Yeah.
And crystals. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater already built? Why would
Oh.
Wagner be worrying about acoustics?
Especially, yeah, after a theater's built, you can't really do much other than dampen sound. It's kind of hard. It's actually interesting. If you ever want to figure out where the best seats in a theater are, they're usually, you can draw a line basically from back here and back here to the opposite corners, and the part where they meet is where you'll have the best seats in any theater.
It looks like an architectural drawing of a theater.
Yeah, they're like drawing the way the
Wittels
sound
Wacker
bounces around.
Theater, München. Every square inch is measured.
Interesting. Yeah,
It's a letter from...
Okay.
Wasn't Wagner's...
curious. What does the plaque say here?
The Death of Wagner.
Oh,
On Ash
jeez.
Wednesday, 1883, Wagner suffered a heart attack in a Venetian gondola on the way to
Okay.
Saint Michel. His wife and the gondolier carried him into a church where he regained consciousness. Wagner
Ooh.
died 4 days later on this sofa.
Man, I guess he was at least comfy. Okay, so we have another pathway back here. Oh, look who it
The
is!
great patron himself.
Ludwig. What do we got here?
Ludwig's Death Mask.
I guess a second death mask.
July 1882. Great and beloved king, Monsieur Beaujolais and I have finished the diagram.
Oh, so it was
We checked the figures many
for
times, and Monsieur
Ludwig.
is confident that it will work. 8
Huh.
identical fixtures are to be made from the diagram and placed in the theater exactly as
That's
specified.
very curious.
I'm sending the diagram with your courier. Be full of hope and have courage. All will be well.
Interesting.
Your own, Wagner.
Wait, what are they talking about? What did Wagner know about Ludwig?
June 10th, 1881, Munich residence. Great friend. I am writing to you in
Okay.
the middle of the night. My blood is pounding too wildly for sleep. Tonight's performance, how can I describe it? I am unsure whether to be terrified or
Oh,
thrilled.
wow.
Perhaps I even feel
Yeah,
hopeful.
powerful performance,
If
apparently.
it is hope, you have given it to me, my friend, for the first time in years.
Ooh.
We must speak. Something happened during the music tonight, but I must have
Oh.
your absolute confidence.
I wonder
As you
if
love me, come at once. Your devoted king, Ludwig.
the music affected his, let's say, state of transformation.
A portrait
yeah.
given as a gift from Ludwig to Wagner.
I love that he's gave a portrait of himself. He's like, here, enjoy how great I look.
Ludwig as the classical Greek hero.
Yeah. He definitely had this vivid imagination of him in this heroic, position. Okay, so go in here. Is there anything else in here? Ah, okay, a whole other display room.
This must be a model of Wagner's own theater.
Right.
Here in Bayreuth.
The one that Ludwig had given special instructions for.
Opera costumes.
That's pretty cool. Man, I wonder if this is the real Wagner Museum in some way. I wonder if they actually got permission to like do some kind of video recording here.
These look like production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though.
No, nothing like those.
These look like production.
Nope.
I don't see anything that looks like those wolf
Nope.
paintings in Neuschwanstein, though.
Nope, nothing like them. Nothing in the display here of interest. Okay. And nothing here. Okay. Anything over? Okay, now we're back in the main room here. Wonder if we can talk to him. Aha! All right, well, let's ask him about himself first.
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
Very interesting.
Composing.
This, a new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
Oh, really?
For the Bayreuth Opera?
I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I guess let's ask him more.
Is there much of a call for conductors in Europe?
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes. I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the
Oh.
opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few
Hey, that's not a bad
Hope I'm
perk.
still around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and
Ooh.
all sorts of things.
I'd love that.
That's quite
if
an
I'm
offer.
still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
Hey, look at that. Grace is great. See, Grace is making friends wherever she goes. All right, well, let's just straight up ask about Wagner.
Tell me about Wagner.
He was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work.
I mean, what
Unfortunately,
artist
he
isn't,
had
right?
expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved to live well.
Oh, okay.
Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the
All right.
music.
All right, setting up their relationship a little bit. Okay, so let's ask about the letter. That's the most curious
Do you know
thing
anything
here.
about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Very strange.
Ah, no. Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here. in
Yeah.
Bayreuth.
It's very curious. All right, well, what about the letter to the conductor?
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
You're full of surprises for an American.
Aw,
What do you know about it?
we're very curious.
No one knows anything about it.
Huh.
It's like a treasure map, you know? It's probably a complete...
It's very
fairy tale,
national
but,
treasure. A
Does
lost
everyone.
grand opera, one
You
final
have no idea what it could have
opera.
referred to? Maybe something that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
If there was, there's no trace of it.
Damn.
Except perhaps in the dreams of unemployed music students.
I like this guy. This guy is very, like, you know, just naturally charming.
Have you ever heard about the wolf panels in the
They're
Singers'
very
Hall at
strange.
Neuschwanstein?
Did my brother send you here?
No.
No?
Probably not.
What does your brother care about
It's
wolf
only-
panels?
The letter to the conductor, the wolf panels. Oh, my brother thinks I am crazy because of all my theories.
Oh,
What theories?
you got a real Benjamin Gates here.
If there was a lost opera, a
Uh-huh.
lost Wagner opera, and if one could find it, to a conductor, this would be like finding King Tut's tomb.
Yeah,
But-
basically.
People have looked for it before. If it ever existed, it is gone forever. My brother
I wonder if this
says
is
I
based at all on
must
any
not
real
really be
history.
thinking about it.
All right, anything else about this lost opera that you can think of?
I'm curious. Is there any other information that points to the lost opera besides Ludwig's letter and the wolf panels?
Yeah. Come on. I won't
not.
judge you.
I'm not even supposed to have seen it.
Ooh, what'd you see?
You see, my brother says that Wagner was too egotistical to have produced a lost opera. If he was working on something new, every person in Bayreuth would have heard about it. On the other hand, it was in Ludwig's character to have wanted a private opera.
I
But it
guess,
wouldn't
yeah,
have
if he
been private.
commissioned it.
Ludwig's letter shows he intended it to be played in Munich.
Yes, but that it would get so far without Wagner telling others? Why keep it a secret?
It is very strange.
Maybe there was a very good reason for secrecy.
This is an interesting wrinkle to the
For
story.
example?
Like... Never mind.
Yep. No, don't play the werewolf card. don't mention the W word in front of normies. Okay, so I guess we're done chatting with
I
him.
don't have anything to ask Georg about at the moment.
Okay. Thing over here. Over here. Nope, that's
Grace
what we came in.
Nakamura.
Always a pleasure, Grace. I guess we're done here. Huh. Yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere. Because we got the new location from that museum. I guess maybe we can go, maybe we can get the phone call now.